What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the Opinionated Hippie. Continuing my deep dive into Neil Young's studio catalog. Today I'm going to discuss, I'm going to review, I'm not going to play music from, I'm going to rank among the other 45 that I've already done. Neil Young and Promise of the Reals, the Monsanto Years. Neil Young's 37th official studio release came out in 2015. And yes, as you can tell by the title, it is a protest album, again, about Monsanto, that corporation that's genetically modifying our food, our seeds, our crops. Neil's got a lot to say about it, as one would expect he would. Very specific references. They name drop Monsanto in here. A lot of like anti-corporate rants. A lot of just modernity, like the progress of man and how we're pretty much, whatever progress is, it's not a good thing. And really what we're doing with humanity, what we're doing to ourselves. Neil's got a lot to say about that. Lyrically, it can be a little bit clunky at times, but it is very much a protest album. It's, it's let's protect our environment, ecology, it's just, it's where you would expect Neil to be. The band is Promise of the Real. They are a real band. Lucas Nelson and his brother, don't know his brother's name. Willie Nelson's kids are in this band. Lucas is the lead singer. He's got a very identifiable sort of country rock Willie Nelson voice. I like them. I think they're a good band. I don't think they're bad on this album, but I don't think they get a chance to like do anything other than kind of support Neil. I think the best two songs on here, or two of the better songs on here, they just kind of sound like kind of Pearl Jam, Mirrorball type vibes. I think there's a couple songs that almost have this like I'm the Ocean type momentum. And I think those are the better tracks on here. But I don't think that like, it's awesome that they got their name on here. I think right after this is when, I think it was their third or fourth album, and they kind of made it big and kind of made a name for themselves. I think it was right around here. So Neil probably helped them get a little more exposure. But I don't think they're really bringing anything to the table other than just some kind of country rock. I think there's a couple guitar solos that aren't Neil's on here that they get a step up. They're bringing a little bit of that country rock energy. But unfortunately, I don't think the songs that Neil's bringing to them are that memorable. The lyrics are pretty clunky, as is the sound of the band at times. It just feels at times like one of those projects, like I think this has been said about Neil a lot, like post-2000, we're 15 years into this what I think is the second half of his career. First half ended in the late 90s. He kind of like took the longest break of his career, which was like 3 years, 4 years. He came back, and he's been in sort of this like, not really compelled to make music, but compelled to be an artist. And he's just looking for topics. And this is one of those where he's like, oh, I can easily write 10 songs about Monsanto. I got a lot of things I want to say. Write these songs, go in the studio, knock out an album, move on to another project. That's kind of the vibe of this. It just, I don't know. It just somehow doesn't resonate. Like from a political standpoint, from a view of the world standpoint, I'm with you, Neil. I'm right there. Like, I agree. Let's not modify our food. Let's not go this direction. But I don't know. Do I need to listen to like 45 minutes of this? I'm not sure I do. How many songs on there? I think there's 9 songs, 8 songs on here, 9 songs on here. There's a couple memorable songs, but for the most part, a lot of them, I feel like the band sounds a little bit clunky. I feel like they're not showing their best side. The lyrics a little bit clunky. The musical ideas are just, opens up with a song called A New Day for Love. It's just kind of an underwhelming mid-tempo rocker. Kind of starts off a little lighter, but then it kind of digs into a little bit of a heavier, more aggressive sort of Mirrorball vibe. And then I don't think it really goes anywhere. Not really any memorable melodies or anything like that. Not a horrible song, but doesn't really jump out at me. Wolf Moon is second, has this sort of acoustic, mid-tempo, low-grade energy, kind of a folky rock vibe. Interesting because the lyrics are very sort of celebratory about nature, about seeing nature and like just like kind of celebrating it and appreciating it. But the music has this sort of like I don't know, like dourness about it or some grumpiness about it that doesn't match the the beauty of nature lyrics, and maybe that's the point of it, but I don't know, it just feels like it should be a little more of an uplifting vibe, and it isn't. At least I don't feel uplifted when I listen to it. People want to hear about love, kind of a big country rock song. um, I like in my notes, I wrote the power of the promise of the real are better than this. I just feel like they're not able to like really. I think they're a better band than this than some of the stuff that they're doing on here. Though again, this isn't bad. I just don't think Neil's really like taking advantage of their skill set. Um, I kind of like the lyrics. You know, people don't want to talk about the environment. People don't want to hear these things. They want to hear songs about love. People want to hear about love. They want to hear about that kind of stuff. They don't want to hear some cranky old man singing about, like, man, take care of the environment and watch what foods you eat. He's right. They don't. It's awesome that he's acknowledging it. I kind of like this song. I think it's kind of a good song. Musically, but lyrically, I think it's one of the more engaging songs on here. The best song on here, I would say by far, is Big Box. This definitely has an I'm the Ocean sort of momentum about it. He's griping about the corporations, too big to fail, too rich for jail, 100% true. He is right. He's just kind of going off on like everything that's wrong in the world and everything that troubles him. There's some nice guitar in here, some nice vocal energy. Easily, I think the best song, the most inspired. This is probably the one he wrote first, and he's like, I can make a whole album out of this. And then it just kind of like got not as good as he went on. My least favorite song on here, A Rock Star Backs a Coffee Shop. Bucks a Coffee Shop? Backs, my writing's bad. It's got some really bad whistling. I don't like the whistling. The whole vibe after the intensity of Big Box just kind of doesn't work. It kind of makes it's a little bit of a more of a throwaway number. One of the lines is, I want a cup of coffee, but I don't want a GMO. Yeah, Neil. All right. I don't know. Getting explicit. I think it's our first explicit mention of Monsanto is in the song. I don't know. It's just kind of this old country rock earlier style. I don't know, a little bit cheesy. Just doesn't work for me. Working Man kind of works. This is kind of a good rock and roll country garage vibe energy. He's specifically calling out Clarence Thomas and his hypocrisy. Some nice ragged jamming in here. Some harmonica comes in. It kind of sounds like an early Neil Young country rocker from the 80s. And I'm saying that as it's a good thing. I think it's one of the better tracks on here. Rules of Change follows. It's slower, a little bit heavier, a little bit forciver, a little bit more forceful. It's got some good energy to it. Got like just this like nice pounding groove that gets pretty heavy. And then we got these like little soft pockets in there that are okay. People must be free to grow. Yes, this is true. The Monsanto years, just there's this refrain of Monsanto, Monsanto, and then Safeway, Safeway. I don't know what Safeway did wrong or did right, but Safeway gets a call out here. It's just kind of a sludge of a song. It just feels like you have to like, patience your way through it. And then the album closes out with If I Don't Know, kind of a slower, gentle vibe that kind of works. It's got some nice guitar soloing between these like kind of big dragging verses. I don't know. I mean, there are moments in each song. I think there's guitar solos that aren't from Neil because they sound a little more, like typical guitar solos that kind of mix up the musical landscape. Like the first song, A New Day for Love, has one. I think there's another one later on the album. But like none of this stuff sticks in my brain. None of this stuff I'm walking away thinking, I got to go back and listen to this. None of this stuff has a hook that engages me. Some of the lyrics, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny in a weird way. Like, I want a cup of coffee, but I don't want a GMO, right? I understand it's important. We got to address these things. Somebody's got to sing about them. But I'm glad it's not like another concept album. I'd really rather have a collection of 9 country rock songs than, some family of Greendale people that are whatever, So I'm glad he approached it that way. But it kind of sounds clunky. It kind of sounds unpolished in a weird way, which sometimes is a good thing. For this, I think maybe it needed a little more work. Maybe needed an editor or maybe something. I don't know. it just, it leaves like zero imprint on my brain when I'm done listening to this album. The one song, I think clearly the best. Oh yeah, here's how the songs are ranked right there. One song, clearly the best is Big Box. There's just musically, I think it works. Lyrically, I think it works. It's just, I think, easily the most engaging thing on this album. The Working Man is okay. If I Don't Know are okay. I mean, those top four are not bad songs, but like everything below that, it's just kind of forgettable, kind of just, Neil's not doing anything new, but he also, like, I guess he sounds impassioned in his lyrics, but I don't know. He's done a lot of protest albums in the last, 15 years or so. He's been angry about a lot of things, which is fine. We're allowed to be angry about things. But it seems like I run a poetry slam, and for a year I did this challenge where like I promised to like come. It's every week, every Tuesday night. I host it. I would read a brand new poem every week. So every week I had to write a new poem. And the poems are about 3 minutes long. It's performance based, right? So what I would do is I would sit down and like Monday when I would decide to write this poem and just spit something out, I would read the news and find something I could like wrap some like stupid idea around and do with that. I kind of feel that's what like Neil's doing. Like I believe those things. I wasn't picking something to fight that I didn't believe in, but at the same time it was almost like I need something to like produce content around. So what's going to help me produce content? Oh, Monsanto. That's an easy one. And I'm not saying that's what Neil did, but it is kind of what it feels like. Naming it the Monsanto years, like there's your stamp right there for what it's about. You know what I'm going to be protesting. You know what it is going into. Don't have to be too creative. I'm giving away the game right here. I don't know. The album completely just underwhelms me. And I like Promise of the Real. I think they're a good band. They got a couple really good albums. But yeah. That's it. All right. Those are the songs. Oh, yeah. Let's get the right album. It's not in the top 20, not in the top 10. So after the Gold Rush, you're still safe in the top 10. But I have it right there. All the way down to number 40. Right above the last studio album I did. He's in a little bit of a lull right here. The last one was with orchestra and big band. So he's like, hey, I've never done these things. Well, he did the big band thing. Never done an orchestra before. Let's do that. Hey, let's do another protest album. So you can tell he's still in his let's just find inspiration somewhere and produce content, which is fine. That's his job. That's his career. That's his life. But this is one of those that I think is just, it's forgettable. But yeah, tell me why I'm wrong. Convince me otherwise. Tell me why this is better than I think it is, because I don't think it's very good. Yeah. All right, those are my thoughts. I'm rambling. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts on this album if you have any. And that is all I got for now. Peace. Talk to you later.